What's going on, everyone? I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day today. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel for another Marvel Rivals video. I had a live stream that I did yesterday, my first live stream, and it was super fun. Thank you to everyone that tuned in for that. And today, as a result of all the time I spent playing yesterday, I want to do a comprehensive tier list for you guys to kick off Season 2.5 to make sure that you are making educated decisions on which heroes you are picking and prioritizing, both as who you want to main and I guess just learn and get better with, as well as who you should be banning right now. Season 2.5 feels very different already, very different, but not in a bad way. I think we're seeing some of these nerfs actually being helpful, some of these buffs also being helpful, and Ultron is pretty awesome. I know people were kind of dogging on him before he got released, saying he's not that strong, he needs to be buffed. I feel like he's already valid, and he's pretty fun too. So I played quite a few games yesterday on live stream, and it was brutal out there. 30 matches played, 10 wins. That is just rough. And if I change this to competitive, 27 of those matches in total were competitive, 8 wins. It was bad, but hey, I played well enough, I think. But you know, playing solo queue or playing, it was just mostly my buddy and I just playing. So 2 of us getting matched up with 4 random people. It is what it is sometimes, right? Just it is what it is. But had some great games. Definitely put up some big numbers and got to play Jeff a lot. And I said this before in a previous tier list that I was doing, or not really a tier list, but just like the discussion of the upcoming updates. I know it looked like Jeff was getting a nerf. It was just a kit rework. And arguably, he's much better. Like, this is a Jeff game. Look at that. That's nuts. I don't think he got nerfed. I think he's better now. So anyway, we're going to hop into this tier list, and really quickly before we do that, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. I'm working very hard to continue to grow this community, and also my wife told me if I build a YouTube channel, I could gain more. So there is that too. You're helping a married guy out here, and I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for all of your support. Let's get right into the tier list. So I've got this already organized a little bit here. We've got the Vanguards, Duelists, and Strategists down at the bottom, and then I've got God tier and then S all the way down to D, D being the lowest priority. Now, just because a hero ends up in the D category or C, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't play them. It just means that based on how I feel like this meta is feeling right now, like as the gates open to 2.5, obviously we're only, you know, today's like day 2. It's hard to like truthfully say, but I played a lot of games yesterday. And so I feel like I have a good idea. Again, doesn't mean that you shouldn't play them. It just shouldn't be like the priority right now. So what we'll do is we'll just let's just start with the Vanguards, and we'll just kind of like tier them how I think is what makes sense. And then we'll move them around as well, because obviously as we fill out like S, A, B, C, we might say, okay, actually this one doesn't really measure up to the other one, so we can kind of move the heroes around a little bit. So this will be like a work in progress as we do it. It's not going to be like this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. I want to like really consider this to give you guys the best information that I feel like I can right now. So we'll just start with Vanguards. I know that Emma got a bit of a nerf, but she's still very dominant, for sure. I don't think that I would necessarily agree that we could put her in God tier or even S right now, but certainly A tier makes sense for her. She is still very strong. She is still kind of difficult to deal with and take down, but she did get a little bit of a nerf. However, you're still pretty much seeing her in every single game, so it's still very valid. Venom, truthfully, you know, I still do believe he is one of the best tanks, being able to get in and out. He's a big distraction. He's very difficult to deal with if you have good movement with him and everything. I'd be willing to put him in A as well right now. Hulk, we're going to drop down to B. The biggest thing with Hulk before was how massive the team up with Iron Man and Namor was. But now Iron Man's not in that team up anymore, and the cooldown on the Gamma Squid was increased. So I just don't think that he's a high priority anymore. And I don't think that he's a high ban priority either. I feel like we're in this like weird little introductory phase to 2.5 where there are still a lot of people that are playing that didn't read the patch notes or the hero adjustments, and they're just still stuck in the same mindset of we got to ban Hulk, we got to ban Groot, we got to ban Spider-Man, but they're not really the problems anymore. So that's also something that was difficult to deal with yesterday, was like trying to ban like who should be banned now, like Luna as an example. But everybody just wants to ban Hulk and Groot. It's like they didn't read the patch notes, but that's okay. They'll learn with time. I think B is good for him. He can be good. Like, don't get me wrong. He's an incredible tank. He's great for diving. He's great for anti-diving as well. I just don't think, you know, he's not going to sit up here. I think B's fine for him. Penny, we're going to put up an S for sure. The buffs are noticeable. The team up with Rocket is absolutely awesome. So I think S is good for her. I don't want to put her in God tier because her full potential is locked by having somebody else specifically on the team, so having Rocket specifically. And she's also getting banned already now. I do see that happening. I do see Rocket getting banned too, but I think S is a really good spot for her. Thing I would put down, honestly, I'll put Thing in A. He's still very strong, very tough to deal with. Great pressure as a tank, and I don't believe he even saw any change for this. If I recall correctly, there was not a change to his kit, so he's still the same that he was in 2.0. We're gonna put Cap down in C. I can't quite put him in D, and I'll talk about why later. He still has great potential. He does. It's going to be very situational. His nerf is noticeable. Finally, the last nerf they did for him was not noticeable, but this time now his survivability is actually less. So I think that this is a good thing because he was so annoying before. So we'll put him in C for now. Magneto, S, 100%. The value of shields right now, honestly, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back here. Magneto's gonna go up in God tier. The value of shielding right now is higher than it has ever been. I did a tier list video the other day talking about how we have an upcoming flyer meta, and the baseline for that video was because we have 4 flyers in the game right now. Everybody was already picking the flyers in 2.0. They're going to be certainly picking them now in 2.5, and I was correct. They are picking them. It is, I guess you could call it a combo like flyer poke meta, because Punisher got some increased damage, Squirrel Girl got increased damage, Hela got increased damage as well. Oh, also Storm got increased damage as well, but not on poke. I think it's just on her ultimate that she got the damage increase. But anyway, we're seeing a bit of a shift in the meta right now because there's just a lot more poke damage happening, and flyers, if played correctly, are poke damage. They are just kind of peeking in and out, getting some shots in, or they're flanking, hitting the back line, and we're already seeing this right now. I had some games with 3 flyers on the other team. It's just, quite frankly, it's unbearable. And if you don't have shielding, it is very difficult to deal with that. You need heroes on your team that can actively block that damage. So Magneto is certainly proving to be a very valuable tank right now. Same with Strange. He got a damage buff, so his damage is back, which is epic. His shield is enormous, maybe the best shield situation in the game. He is so good right now. These two are your air defense, like flat out. And you need that right now because I'm telling you, people want to be Ultron, they want to be Iron Man, they want to be Torch. I know Torch got a nerf, doesn't matter. People are still picking him constantly. People want to be Storm. If you don't have the ability to create some kind of separation between the fight that's happening at ground level and the fight that's happening in the air, you're going to have a really tough game, like for real. These two are like your top picks for tanks, for sure. Groot is still good. I know I was kind of saying people are banning him because they didn't read the patch notes. He got a little bit of a nerf, but it didn't really make much of a difference. He's still good. He's still very valid. The problem is there's more of a counter to him right now. So I don't really think that you need to ban him. What I mean by that is increased damage by Squirrel Girl and increased clip by Punisher. Jeff's healing water stream also now dealing damage. It's not hard to take the Groot walls down. Truthfully, it's not. I don't think that he needs to be banned. I think you just need to counter him, which is quite simple because to do so, you're going to pick what are kind of like the meta DPS picks right now at this point anyway. So when the walls go up, just take the wall down. It's pretty straightforward, but he is good. I'm not going to say he can't be like effective because he certainly can be, but he's only effective if you do not deal with the walls. But the same thing goes for everybody, right? Penny's super effective unless you deal with the nests. If you don't deal with the nests, then it's a problem, right? You have to deal with these things. Now for Thor, the first one in D. His nerf was substantial. It's extremely noticeable. I did not see any Thors play well last night, either on my team or on the other team. It was very easy to deal with them. Easier to deal with them than Cap, but also he's got less mobility. Quite surprising, actually. He was quite good in 2.0, and now I just feel like the nerf totally gutted him, just based on my experience from last night. Okay, now Star-Lord. I'm going to put Star-Lord in S, and the reason I'm going to do so is because he's kind of a pseudo flyer. Like he can be airborne quite a bit, and it's tough to deal with. A good Star-Lord is extremely powerful, and the ult is just incredible. When you pair that with having Ultron on the team and you get like the healing drone stacked on him, Star-Lord can do some really good damage. Storm is certainly going to go up into God tier. She's very powerful right now, and the team up with Jeff is incredible. Black Panther seemingly was doing quite well in the matches that I had yesterday that did include a Black Panther. I would put him in B. I think as a diver, he's actually pretty good right now. I was very surprised to find myself like struggling against a Black Panther yesterday. It's the first time that I've actually felt that way in a bit. I just kind of felt like he was a non-issue for so long and people weren't really picking him, but he felt a little bit more valid yesterday, and I was surprised to see him get picked as often as he was. Iron Fist got a bit of a nerf, still annoying. I would put him in B. I do think that he's a little bit better pick for that style gameplay right now than Cap is, but situationally there's always something to be said there. Magic's very good. I'm going to put her down here with Cap. If I'm being honest, I feel like I only had like maybe a handful of matches with a Magic on the other team, and they were not memorable, obviously. She can be very good. I just don't think that right now she's going to be a priority based on the meta that we're seeing shape up, with this being more of a flyer poke meta. She can be very good for dealing with the healers on the other team. The problem is now we've got a healer that's flying around, so I don't think that it's going to be quite as effective, I guess, unless you ban Ultron. But now we're talking about what ifs, and anything could be a possibility, which could change anything about this tier list, so I don't want to dig too deep into all of the what ifs or possibilities. Moon Knight is still very, very good, very effective. He's good at dealing with the flyers, better than you might think, especially with the maps that have more of like a tunnel aspect to them. Like Araco, for example, is very like path based, and he does very well against flyers on that map because it is a confined space. So I would say picking him, especially based on certain maps, is a very valid decision to make. Namor's he's just not as good. He's just not as good. Losing the strength of this team up a little bit certainly was a nerf to him. His ult did get bigger. The space got bigger for it, the actual like area of effect, which is nice. I think that was a good thing that happened, but he's just not really cutting it. It's too easy to deal with the squids. People are just too aware at this point. I think his kit needs a little bit of a rework, I think, in some way to make it a little bit more effective. Punisher's got to go up in S. I'm tempted. I really am tempted to put him up into God tier. The problem is like, he's just not that easy to use. The skill ceiling for him is actually higher than I thought it was. I watched some videos of people playing yesterday and just like testing him out, and I was quite surprised to see the actual effect of him. We're gonna put him in God tier, but I'm gonna tell you right now, to reach God tier potential with him, you got to put in time. But I do think I'm willing to leave him in God tier because I would say that spending that time is worthwhile. I think it really would be worth investing that time into him right now for season 2.5, working on your accuracy, working on your positioning, working how you manage the movement with him and how you position on the map. He's going to be very effective in this meta. So if you want to be someone that can make a big change for your team and you're willing to put in the time, Punisher's he's a great option. But it's not going to be a quick pickup, like Storm is going to be or Iron Man's going to be. This is going to be more of an investment of your time. Bucky is still very good. I'm going to put him in A. Psylocke seems to be doing pretty well. She's got a good win percentage kicking this off. We'll put her in A also. I'm going to put Scarlet Witch up into S, and the reason for that is because she's dealing a lot of damage. She's a great flanking character right now, and she's good, especially on certain maps where you can have different tier levels where you can walk around still. She can easily flank the flyers. And since we are going to be seeing a lot more Strange right now, I believe, getting this team up is far more likely. So I think that she is a phenomenal pick right now, especially if you do have the team up and especially if you're coming up against flyers. Iron Man, okay, alone, he's not God tier right now, but I'm going to put him in God tier because you're most likely not going to see him picked unless you have Ultron as well, because he got a nerf for this season, but that nerf is canceled by the team up with Ultron, and the two of them together flying around, plus the team up that they have together, it just makes him so strong, and it makes Ultron strong as well. It makes his healing better, so he can go up here. But I'm just gonna say he's S. Okay, he's S by himself, but he's God tier with Ultron. Okay, and that's normally what you're going to be seeing. That's what people are going to be hoping for right now. Hela can go into S. The problem with Hela right now is yes, she's very strong. She's very good with dealing with flyers, but the problem is it's hard to hit them. They're fast. They're moving around a lot. You need to be very, very, very good with Hela, to really realize her potential. She has the potential. Look, every character has the potential to be god tier in the right hands, but just as like a blanket statement here, like you're comfortable with a character, this I believe she would be an S tier pick at this point in time. I don't really see a role for Spidey right now. He's not D tier. We'll put him in C. Because he lost that team up, he's not as effective against the Flyers right now. So not having that Venom team up right now was like actually quite a nerf to him. He's still good. Like, don't get me wrong, Spider-Man's still good. I know I kind of like say like random things about Spider-Man sometimes, and I think he's like a wasted team slot. He doesn't really truly help the team, and I really do feel that way. But he is a good character. He is a good hero. And he has a lot of potential, and he can effectively really bully the backline. But the problem is he doesn't have that instant nuke anymore. So to pick him because you say like, oh, he's great against Flyers, it's kind of not anymore. You kind of need some assistance in order to make that happen. The Flyers already got to be getting shots on him for him to really pull off that nuke. Like, he's still fine. I just wouldn't pick him as priority. I feel the same way about Black Widow. She's just not a priority right now. I don't think. I just wouldn't put her higher than this. She can be good. I played a game yesterday actually with the Black Widow that was very good, and it was rough. But I wouldn't really make her a priority pick right now. Wolverine is pretty good. He can effectively deal with Flyers. I'm willing to put him in A. He's always been a valid pick. He's very, very strong, great against tanks. But his ability to grab the Flyers is also, I think, really important right now. I would put Mr. Fantastic up in S. The reason being is because he can pretty effectively bully the Flyers, and he's able to like go into the immunity state, which can work to counter Ultron and Iron Man right now. And I saw that happen in quite a few games last night. He can be quite effective, also being able to shield teammates and hop around and kind of just, be a bit of a disruption. He's very effective right now. Hawkeye. Actually seeing him get banned a lot right now. So he can be good. I wouldn't, even with the team up considered with Luna, I wouldn't be willing to put him in S. I think I would honestly, and maybe you think I'm crazy, but I would put him in B. He's not going to be as good without the team up, and you just have to be super accurate with him. And he's only doing one thing. Which is just trying to snipe the back line. It's too easy to avoid him, truthfully. It's just far too easy to avoid him. Squirrel Girl, surprisingly, I'm putting her up in S. I didn't think that her buffs were going to be noticeable, but man, they are noticeable. Something to keep in mind with Squirrel Girl and Strange right now is we have these past seasons of playing the game where you kind of in your mind, like subconsciously know how much damage you can take from somebody before you have to like get out of the way, or you got to reposition, or you got to change something. Your brain has to rethink that in regards to these two now. With the damage increase, you think, I can take 2 more hits. No, you can't. You can only take 1 more at this point in time. The damage increase is substantial enough, and especially with her having a lower cooldown now, you got to be a little bit more careful around these two, because they will get the elimination on you, and it will be surprising because you're like, I feel like that was too quick, but no, it's valid right now. Torch can go into A. That's a safe place for him to be. He did get nerfed. It is a little noticeable. I think it's noticeable. He's just not a priority over the other Flyers right now. He's good, and a team of 4 Flyers would just be absolutely brutal, but I would put him in A. I don't feel like, even though Star-Lord's not a true flyer, I don't feel like I can even match him with Star-Lord at this point in time, just based on how things changed. Adam Warlock, honestly, he's pretty good at dealing with the Flyers if you're accurate with him. I'd be willing to put him up in B. His healing is okay. Bringing people back is all right. It can be helpful. The problem is you really got to spend some time on him to learn how to use him. He has a high skill ceiling, and you got to be very careful about where you're doing this resurrection, because I was playing yesterday and we had an Adam Warlock on our team who kept rezzing us like in the middle of everybody, and you just get killed again. So it's not a great thing to deal with. He's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I can put him any higher than this. If you're using him as a third support, and the point of using him is just to try and use your charge shot to hit the Flyers, that can be very effective. It can be. But outside of that, I don't know how effective he currently is at this point in time, based on games played yesterday. Cloak is pretty good. at, right now, I don't think that I would place her any higher than C, just because it's too easily countered, it's too easily avoided, and you lose some value in the damage that's being dealt by her controlling the space with her ult, because quite frankly, most of the DPS that you're going to be coming up against right now, unless they get banned, are going to be the flyers. So they just remain unaffected by this, and Iron Man can just nuke anybody in that zone. So it's just not that great anymore. Loki, we can definitely put... I would definitely put him... I say that because I want to put him in S, but like I feel like maybe he's been knocked down just a little bit. We'll put him in A. He's still phenomenal. Trust me, he's still phenomenal. He has just lost some value. Jeff can instantly destroy the healing lamps, the runes that he pops up. It's like he instantly destroys them. This water stream actually is about as effective against the buildings and stuff, destructible areas, as Loki is. Jeff can just destroy the terrain. And he also will just destroy those runes instantly. It completely invalidates that skill if a Jeff is on the other team and is aware of it. So he does lose some value there. He can be good against the flyers. He's a good distraction for sure. But the flyers can much more easily target him because they can see where he's changing and moving to more so than you can see on the ground. So I do think there's a little bit of value lost there if you have flyers on the other team, which you likely will. Luna, God tier. And there's a reason for this, okay? Luna's going into God tier because, and let's just go ahead and put Ultron up here too. These two together are insane. And I don't know if you guys know about this yet, but stacking the frost healing thing on, let's say Iron Man, and then stacking the healing drones on Iron Man, it makes it really hard to kill Iron Man. Really, really hard. We're actually seeing Luna getting banned now. She's also dealing more damage, but pairing these two together is just insane. And truthfully, it's a lot. I don't know if they tested that out or if they even thought about that while they were doing these hero testings and stuff behind the scenes before the release. But this is broken. Truthfully, it is. It's pretty insane. If you get the chance to play it and you're comfortable with these heroes, do it because it's going to really give you an edge. Rocket, I would willingly put in God tier as well. He's still an incredible healer. Jeff, I know everyone thought he was getting a nerf, and I said in a previous video, I know it reads like a nerf, but it's not. It was a kit rework. He is better now. He is far better now. The fact that you don't have to make a decision between healing and dealing damage, it's a game changer. The only noticeable nerf to Jeff that I noticed, and I played as him quite a bit last night, is just that you don't have the infinite swim anymore. And that's okay. Having that infinite movement, that infinite swim, it was kind of silly. I was kind of surprised that was actually a thing. So limited movement now, that's the one thing that you have to manage with him. The charge shots, he only gets 3 shots now, and they reload slowly. I think it's like a 3-second reload or something like that. But they do a knockback now. It has an additional effect to it. You only have 3 bubbles now, which is okay. He's phenomenal. He's really, really good. I actually saw him get banned a few matches yesterday, so people are recognizing that. He's also very effective against flyers. Just being able to shoot the stream at them constantly, it's a great way to annoy them and even get an elimination on the flyers sometimes. Invis, I would put... She's lost some value. Look, she's still really good. She really is still good. I'm gonna put her in S. She's still very valid, but she loses value when this composition is on the field. The Jeff NATO will pull everyone out of her ult and completely negate the fact that she used it, because you can just go in with Jeff, eat everybody, and then leave with Storm and just deal a ton of damage and eliminate all of them. So she's still very, very good, and I'm willing to keep her in S because obviously this is situational. We do see Storm getting banned now, so I would say that, she can very comfortably sit in S for sure. Mantis, not as good, it seems. Not as good, it seems. I'm going to put her in B. She still has use. She still can work against fire. She's still doing a lot of good poke damage. That's where these two kind of shine. But again, you need 2 other healers if you're going to be playing that situation. And truthfully, it can be kind of hard to get people to get behind doing a 3 healer team. Everybody wants to do 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 healers. Sometimes it works. You need to change your compositions based on what the team has going for them. So I think this is a pretty solid tier. So I thought I would kind of move some of these around like as I went, but I actually feel pretty good about the positioning of everybody here. I'm very interested to know what you guys think though. Like if you had a different experience yesterday, and obviously it's just day one, I could change my mind in a few days of playing here and have a different opinion on this, but I do feel like right now this is pretty solid. Like these are great picks for you. These are great secondary picks, great options here as well. And it goes on down the line. And again, just because someone's in B, C, or D, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't pick them. It just means that you might need to really be thinking about the situation more in a way of like, what do we need right now? What does our team need right now? Do we need Namor? Would that make a difference for what's going on right now? Do we need Spidey? Would that make a difference for what's going on right now? That's always the question that you have to ask yourself is, how can I bring more value to my team? Who is a better hero pick than who I'm playing as right now that can make a difference? Because being able to swap and being able to recognize that is the difference between winning and losing close games. Like hands down, you got to make the right choices. So I think this is pretty solid. What we'll do here, actually, you guys can take a screenshot of this to keep this. But let's do a new row above here. And this is going to be the new ban priority. I would say, just from my personal experience yesterday, ban priority number 1 is Luna. This team up with her is just nuts. And honestly, I don't know why people don't ban Strategist more often. Everyone is just like tunnel vision into thinking we got to ban certain tanks and certain DPS. Nobody ever thinks about banning the Strategist, but if you ban like the primary strategists that make a difference in the game, like it would change things completely, right? And we're seeing that already. Like, get Luna out of here. Just get her off the map. Take away. This isn't a team up, actually. It's just like a thing between the two of them that works super well. Just don't make that an option. Just get her out of here. Her ult's super powerful. I think that's a great ban right now. I would say Ultron, truthfully as well. If you ban Ultron, you're less likely to see Iron Man right now because then you don't get that damage buff. So he still has the nerf then. So this takes priority over Iron Man, I would say for sure. I would also say a good ban right now is Squirrel Girl. That sneaky damage from her, of her little acorns bouncing around all over the place, and you don't even see them. They're just getting through the line. You don't realize what's hitting you. She's dealing more damage now. She's going to be getting more picks on Strategists for sure. She's a great ban. I would say another good ban as well. Let's just do one more to give it like a full 4 ban. I think, I mean, really you're banning out of God tier, right? You wouldn't really ban out of anything else. I would feel pretty comfortable getting behind Storm being the other ban priority. Her ult is just very powerful. It's going to completely nuke the back line. It's very, very strong. It's very sneaky. She's super powerful right now. I think this would definitely be a strong ban priority right here. And if you wanted to add 2 more, right, because you get 3 bans per team as you get higher up in the ranks, I would say banning, honestly, I think banning Jeff and probably banning Strange. I think this is a pretty solid decision to make as far as ban priority goes. These would definitely change how the game feels, right? Think about it. Look at who's up in the ban priority here and look at who you're left with. Like, this is basically, you know, you're back into like looking at what you'd be dealing with in just regular season 2.0 because everything that's making a big splash right now in 2.5 has not been taken out of the game. So it's going to feel a lot more like 2.0 by having these 6 out of there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious to hear what your experience was like. If you got to play yesterday or if you got to play today. I think it feels phenomenal. I think some of the adjustments that they made make things feel very balanced. I think it was a lot of fun playing yesterday. And I like the new map as well. I wasn't sure how I felt about Araco in the beginning, but I actually like that map quite a bit now that I got to play on it a lot because they're definitely throwing into the matchmaking sequence a little bit more often. I was playing it almost to a point of annoyance yesterday. I was like, can we please just play a different map? I'm tired of playing Araco. But yeah, I think it's a great map. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I always love reading your comments and connecting with you guys. I'm going to do some more live streams coming up here very soon. I had a lot of fun doing that. Again, thank you for everyone that tuned in to check me out on that and hang out for a little bit. Yeah, a lot more to come, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you so much. Cheers.